Hello everyone and welcome to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here again from Antwerp. Thanks for tuning in again. Today we are going for another brew review and we are gonna taste the second beer in our let's say discovery box from Cervezas Badúm in Peñíscola in Spain. So today I went for Lola, the blonde lager. Now what is special about this beer? Well, as Badúm has their own way of creating beers and of making beers, this is not different. They actually used 4 kinds of malts and 3 types of hops, but they won't tell us which ones, to create a nice well-fermented lager, or so they say. I haven't tasted it yet, so that will be a discovery in about 2 minutes. They did ferment this a bit longer than usually with a lager, and that does mean that well, for starters, they get rid of all the diacetyl and stuff, but also not much sugar will be left, so I'm expecting a nice dry beer, a well-fermented beer. They also lagered it longer, they matured it longer, to make sure that all the aromas are flowing inside the beer and nothing is lost. It is nicknamed Lola instead of just the lager because it is a nice blonde with well, with an attitude, with a full body, and they use that in the label as well. This nice blonde that actually reminds me of the Belga lady or the Tigra lady. So let's see what it gives. This is a 4.8% lager, and I am very curious after reading that they fermented it longer and they used all those ingredients. Plain white bottle cap. Again, nothing wrong with that. It does fit the rest of the design with the red and the red label and the white spots. Very straightforward, very malty smell. Very grainy, quite sweet. Actually reminds me of a Bolleke de Koning. Wow. That is very, very clear. Very active as well, nicely carbonated. Lovely swirl in there. Very pale yellowish beer. I wouldn't call this gold, I'd call this quite yellowish, but very pale, very clear as well. Nice white foam, rather big bubbles, so this is gonna dissipate quite quickly, but there are a lot of bubbles in the beer, so very nice head of foam. Okay. There we go. It's still very grainy, very hoppy, very malty, but now that the aromas open up and the volatiles are free to roam through the air, I do get these iso alpha acids, the hop aromas in there. It smells rather bitter, which I like. It smells rather dry as well. And slightly fruity actually, so that's a surprise. Not necessarily fruity, but I do get some citrus zest in there. Maybe even a little bit of yellow grapefruit. Okay, let's have a taste. Cheers. Yeah, pretty much what I expected, and I really like it from the first sip. You guys know that I do love very dry beers, very well fermented beers, and this is a very well fermented dry beer, bone dry. I don't think that there's much sugar left in there. I think they fermented it like up to 1.5 or 2 Play-Dohs even. But I really like it. It has a very, well, it's quite thin, but it still has a full mouthfeel. Again, because of the dryness, you feel it in the back of the cheeks here and the roof of the mouth. The bitterness really plays on the soft tissue in the mouth. Also great for tasting, by the way. And it's heavily carbonated, and that plays a role as well. So that makes it, again, a bit bigger in the mouthfeel. So now we do taste with our nose as well, and with the roof of the mouth. And that heavy carbonation and that bitterness actually really helps with that as well. Wow. Again, probably from the hops, I get that slight citrusy, yeah, that little extra. Again, like it very much. In the taste, it's a bit more citrusy, a bit less zest than in the smell. But yeah, absolutely love it. I could actually drink this all night. And comes in at only 4.8. So again, very nice, not too high in alcohol. Now I did pour in a bit of the yeast. This is an ale, this is a top fermented beer. And I did see that there were some, well, there was a bit of leftover yeast in the bottle. I did pour it in just to see if, as usual, the yeast makes it even more bitter. You guys have seen me do that with a duvel as well. I like the yeast, well, if it's not chunky, I like the yeast in the beer. And oftentimes it makes it even a bit more dry and a bit more bitter, so at least a bit more aromatic as well. Yeah, immediately a lot more mouthfeel, a bit warmer on the tongue as well, a bit bitterer, a bit more bitter. I like that, absolutely. So yeah, honestly, I did like the Alcachofa already, and I like the brewery Badúm as well. But for me, this is bullseye, straight hit. So yeah, let's just slide into the scoring then. I would have to say that this is again like a 3.75 for me. As far as lagers go, I like my lagers bitter as well. I do like Stella more than Jupiler, or I like the nice full malty Pilsners, but in the end, I still like the dry beers. So for me, this awesome 3.75 out of 5. Look at that. Okay, Badúm, well done. Salud. Lovely. As usual, if you guys like this video and the things that I said, hit the thumbs up and let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon. You'll be the first to know whenever I upload something, which should be Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 6 p.m. my time. So for the US viewers, that will be like at noon. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be an Irish beer. Yeah, an Irish beer. See you guys on Friday. Cheers.